You ever wonder what a truly red-hot real estate market looks like? Well, today we are pulling back the curtain on Grand Rapids, Michigan. The numbers here tell a really wild story. We're talking incredible speed, fierce competition, and, believe it or not, a surprising twist for investors. Let's dive right in.
So, what is the secret sauce here? Why is the Grand Rapids market so unbelievably competitive? Look, the answer isn't just one simple thing. It's really a combination of factors that create, well, a perfect storm for both buyers and sellers. We're about to break down exactly what those are. Okay, so before we can really get to the heart of the city, we've got to zoom out and look at the bigger picture. You see, Grand Rapids isn't an island. Think of it more like the powerful engine that's driving the entire West Michigan economy. Let's take a look at just how busy this region really is.
Just take a look at these numbers for a second. We're talking about more than 6,300 active listings across all of West Michigan. And even more importantly, over 1,100 homes have already closed this year. This is not a slow trickle, folks. This is a constant, high-volume flow of properties changing hands, which just goes to show you how much demand there is across the whole region.
And all that activity? Well, it adds up to a pretty staggering figure. $381 million in closed sales. That's not just some big number on a screen. It's a powerful indicator of the immense economic energy pulsing through West Michigan's housing market. It tells us that both buyers and sellers are feeling confident and they're making some major moves.
So, what's the big takeaway from all this? Simple. While the whole West Michigan area is buzzing with activity, Grand Rapids is, without a doubt, the epicenter. It's the market that's setting the pace, driving both that high volume of sales and the premium prices we're seeing everywhere.
All right, so now that we've got that big picture in mind, it's time to zoom in. We're heading right into the heart of the story, Grand Rapids proper. This is where we get to the real nitty-gritty, the street-level data that truly defines what it's like for buyers and sellers out there today.
Okay, this number right here, this is what sets the stage for everything else we're going to talk about. The average home in Grand Rapids sells for just over $363,000. Now, for a lot of buyers, that is a significant investment, and it immediately tells you this is a strong, valuable market. But you know what? Price is only half the story. The other half is speed. And wow, the average home here is on the market for just 39 days. Seriously, let that sink in for a moment. From the day it's listed to the day there's an accepted offer, we're talking just over a month. In the world of real estate, that is absolutely lightning fast. So you've got this combination of high prices and high speed. What does that actually mean? Well, this quote from the source report just nails it. This is a very competitive, seller-leaning micro-market. Or, to put it in simple terms, sellers are in the driver's seat.
And here's what that seller's advantage looks like in actual dollars and cents. On average, sellers are walking away with 98% of their initial asking price. Now, if you're a buyer, this is an absolutely critical piece of info. It basically means those lowball offers, they're probably going nowhere. You have got to come in with a strong, competitive bid right from the start. Okay, so we know Grand Rapids is fast, we know it's competitive, but how does it stack up against its neighbors? Let's take a quick look and see how the surrounding metro areas compare.
This table right here, it really tells the story of the whole region. Look, if you're after a higher price point, you might look over at Holland or North Ottawa. But if speed is what you care about most, nobody, and I mean nobody, beats Grand Rapids at just 39 days on market. And what's really fascinating to me is that no matter where you look, sellers are getting at least 96% of what they're asking for. It just proves the whole region is strong. But Grand Rapids really holds that unique sweet spot of high value and just incredible speed.
So, here's the bottom line from what that table just showed us. The pattern across the entire region that Grand Rapids influences is just remarkably consistent. It doesn't matter where you look from Kalamazoo all the way to Holland, homes are selling in about 1 to 2 months and they're closing for just 2 to 3% below the list price. That's a strong market.
Okay, now we're about to make a pretty sharp turn. Everything we've talked about up to this point has been about residential homes, the place you live. But what if you're an investor? What if you're looking at land or commercial properties? Well, as you're about to see, it is a completely different world.
This right here perfectly captures the two different realities of Grand Rapids real estate. It's like a tale of two markets. On one side, you have the residential market. It's a rocket ship with very little room for haggling. And on the other side, you've got land and commercial, which is a much slower game where patience and negotiation are absolutely key. Let's look at just how different those timelines are. Whoa, this chart just lays bare the staggering difference in the patience you're going to need. A homeowner can reasonably expect to sell their house in about a month, but an investor selling a commercial building, they need to be ready to wait for over 6 months. That massive gap in time, it completely changes the entire dynamic of a deal.
Now, this slower pace, it actually creates a huge opportunity for savvy investors. Think about it. While residential buyers are paying pretty darn close to full price, commercial properties are selling for just 71% of their asking price on average. That massive 29% gap isn't just a discount. It's a sign of a market where buyers and sellers have to really work to figure out a property's true value, and that creates major potential for negotiation.
Okay, we have covered a lot of ground and thrown a lot of numbers at you. So for this final section, let's just boil all of this down into a few clear, essential takeaways that really summarize the state of the Grand Rapids market.
So, here it is, the whole market in a nutshell. Number 1, it's fast. Incredibly fast. Homes sell in just over a month. Number 2, it's a seller's market, plain and simple. Sellers are getting around 98% of their asking price. Third, it's a regional leader. Grand Rapids really sets the pace for all of West Michigan. And finally, and this one is so important, you have to know your niche. The investor market for land and commercial, it operates on a much slower, more negotiable timeline. It's a whole different ballgame.
And all of that brings us to the big question, looking forward. In a residential market that moves this incredibly fast, what's the next big move? Whether you're a buyer, a seller, or an investor, really understanding these dynamics is the key to figuring out what's next for Grand Rapids. Thanks for tuning in.